In this quick review here, we want to talk about Venn diagrams and relate them to survey problems. So in this quick review, I have two examples here, one with a completed Venn diagram and then one where we're going to fill in a Venn diagram. All right, so first off, we're going to talk about what Venn diagrams are going to do is they're going to visualize the results of a survey. All right, so suppose you have this picture here, okay? So the results of the survey are summarized in this picture. So it looks like a Venn diagram and they overlap. Okay, so there's two sets here. These Roman numerals here represent the regions of the Venn diagram. Like this is region 1, region 2 is the overlap, region 3 is this region, and region 4 is everything that's outside of these Venn diagrams. So basically what's going on here is there's this survey and they basically ask students two questions. One, are you willing to donate blood or are you willing to serve breakfast to people who are donors? Okay, and maybe there are some people who are willing to do both, and that's the overlap here. All right, so when you look at this, what these numbers here represent is how many unique students fall into each of these regions. All right, so how many students are willing to donate blood? Okay, well, that's set A. So those are the students in set A. Well, how many students are in set A? 370 are here, but don't forget this region here, this is still everybody in set A, okay? So this would be 370 plus 120. So there were 490 students, okay, who basically said, yeah, I'll donate blood. So how many were willing to donate blood but not serve breakfast? So A is the donate blood. But this overlapping region right here is also the people who were like, you know what, I'll serve breakfast. So we just want the people who will donate blood but not serve breakfast. So that's just 370 students. Finally, how many weren't willing to do either of these things? Well, those would be the people outside the sets. So this would be students outside sets A and B. Well, how many students are outside sets A and B? Those would be 290 students. Okay. All right, so now what we want to do is instead of giving you a completed Venn diagram like this, what I want you to do is I want to tell you the results of a survey and then have you complete the Venn diagram. Okay, and so there's a process for this. Okay. The first thing you're going to use the survey's description to define the sets and draw a Venn diagram. Okay, so how many sets, how many different groups are responding to this. Then you're going to use the survey's results to determine the cardinality for each region. What that is the cardinality is the count. Okay. So the counts for each region in the Venn diagram. And this is important. When you go to do this, you have to start with the intersection of the sets, the innermost region, okay, and work outward. So you're going to start, what I mean by that is you're going to start right here, okay, and then work your way outward. And then you're going to use the completed Venn diagram to answer any of the problem's questions. Okay. So here's the first one. So this is a survey about courses that students sign up for. So there were a survey of 120 college students was taken at registration. Of those surveyed, 75 students said, yeah, I'm registered for a math course. 65 students are registered for an English course, and 45 for both a math and an English course. All right. So construct a Venn diagram for this. All right, so the first thing you're going to ask yourself is, well, what are the two sets or two groups I'm looking at? Well, I'm looking at students who registered for a math course and students who registered for an English course. All right, so you need to fill out, here's the thing, you need to fill out this region, region 1. You need to fill out the overlap region, region 2. You need to fill out this region, region 3, and region 4, just like we had outside. Okay. So what is region 2? Region 2 are the students who are taking both a math and an English course. Well, how many students are there? That's 40 students. Okay. Now here's where you have to be very careful. 65 said they're registered for an English course. Well, look, here is the set of English course students taking the English course, right? Everybody in that circle is taking an English course. Well, how many total students are already in there? 45. So then this one right here, okay, this whole circle needs to be 65. So how many students are right here? I need to take away the 40 students I've already got in the circle. And there are just 25 students in this region here. The region is because look, if you look at it, the English region, 40 and 25 give me that 65. So they do the same thing for math. 75 students registered for a math course. Well, how many students are already in the math circle? Look. There are 40 students already in the math circle. So if I've already accounted for 40 of them, that means there's 35 right here. Now you're not done. Okay, you're not done yet. Here's the thing. Think about it. Like, does every student have to take an English and math course? No. So you have to figure out how many students are not in these sets. So what goes in the outside, I have 120 students, but I've already accounted for 35, 40 in the middle, and 25. So what does that sum up to? Well, let's see. 35 and 40 is 75, and 25 is 100. So there would be 20 students outside here. And you could, quickly do that math to check, like we need 120 total students. 20 and 25 is 45, 85, 85 and 35. Yep, gets me 120. All right, so I've got everybody now. Now we can just do some quick questions. Of those surveyed, how many registered only for a math course? Well, you got to be careful here. Here's the math students, but 40 of them also did an English course. So it's just that 35 right there. That's just the region 1. How many registered only for an English course? Well, look, you can't include the 40, right? You can't include this 40 here because they also did a math. So only English would be the 25. So that would be the students in region 3. So how many registered for a math or an English course or an English course? So like logically what that would mean would be either or you could do both. So that math or English would be all the students in regions 1, 2, and 3, which would be 35 plus 40 plus 25 gets me 100 students. So those are regions 1, 2, and 3. And now how many did not register for either a math course or a little bit of a typo or an English course? Well, that would just be the people in region 4 outside there. So that would be the 20 students. All right, I hope this helped with a quick review, and we'll follow this lecture up with a quick review on what happens if there are 3 sets.